This video is about why empowering the female is one of the most important things that we can do today. Empowering the female doesn't only mean empowering women. It also means to empower men, the female side in men. To explain why I find this so important, let me share you this little story that basically comes straight from one of my clients. She is 66 and she has so much energy, she would easily pass as something in their early 50s. And a lot of good things have happened in her life recently because she has been able to draw these things into her life. She's making good money, she lives in a good and really cheap apartment, and she is successful in business. The success in her business is something that we just spoke about lately. She was very upset because her boss said this was pure coincidence, pure luck, when she scored a major success. And that hurt her. And then in another conversation with a friend, she said, I'm really lucky with my apartment. And that person said, yeah, that was just luck. That has nothing to do with who you are and what you did in order to manifest this apartment in your life. And again, that hurt her. So what I see is somebody who is actually in the position to bring the good things to her life, but fails to acknowledge it. And because she internally fails to acknowledge what she is doing, the world around her mirrors that feeling and diminishes her achievements. Now, what is it that she fails to acknowledge? What she fails to acknowledge is a way of achieving something that has nothing to do with control. The job I was talking about, the success she had in that job, and the apartment I was talking about, these things didn't come because she meticulously controlled her life, but these things came because she let go of control. Today's society is a society where control is highly regarded. I remember from my own job, if you signal that you are at least trying to exert a lot of control, you will be forgiven if you are not successful. It's basically saying it's enough to see that you're working a lot. This is how this society often works. Now, if you're up for success, you will need to let go of control and you will need to really drop into the universe knowing that you will be given what you need. And that is not something that the outside world can observe. So they're not seeing the cause and then the result. They're not seeing the work and the success as the outcome. And when you have success out of nothing, that is a threat for many people because they see themselves working a lot, they see themselves doing overtime, and you basically just walk in and get what you have been asking for. Now, this isn't just a challenge for the people who work a lot and see somebody benefiting from miracles, if you want. It's a challenge for everybody. It's a challenge for men and for women alike, because the side of us that allows us to have these type of results is the female side, the soft side, the welcoming side, the somewhat chaotic dark side, the nourishing side, the receiving side. That is what we need to nurture. We live in a world where control is considered the most important thing. There's even the saying that control is better than trust. Nothing is farther from the truth. So one of the things I do in my practice, and that I highly encourage you, is to find out, especially if you're a woman, where you are oscillating between control on one hand and between softness, receiving on the other hand. Many people, because they've never been trained in living the soft and receiving side of them, fail to live this side constructively, and so they go into depression, they go into crying, they go into self-sabotage, because that's what they have been taking for female, mistakenly. Together as a collective, as a society, we need to create more space for the weak. We need to create more space. It's not actually the weak, it's the receiving, it's the passive. It's considered weak. You saw it in the choice of my own words. I'm not outside of this pattern. Well, we need to create more space for passivity and for receiving. And there's a little tool suggested by Tony Robbins, which he calls the triad. It says, when you are going to this mode where you are receiving, or where at least you're not controlling, it often turns into depression or similarly destructive tendencies. And there you have three things that constitute this behavior. The first is physiology, and I specifically mean the facial expression and the body expression. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what do you see? What you really put your attention to in this world? Like what your perception filter is. And the third thing is the language patterns that you use to communicate with yourself and other people. These things can be controlled. Now, if you're aware enough, if you manage to be aware enough, and if you manage to watch yourself when you move from control to perceived weakness, when you catch that threshold, when you cross it, find out how you combine the three triangles of the triad, how you combine your wording, your posture, your physiology, and your attention, your mental focus. Find out how you combine these two in order to shift these states, because you are shifting the states. You are doing so with a certain intention, unconsciously, but still very clearly. So that's really what I wanted to say to you today. And that's not just for women, it's also for men. As a man, we can only grow if we understand our female side. And I believe this is probably the most important topic that as a collective, as society, we are facing today. If you want to know more how I, as a coach, help people in such situations where they find themselves oscillating between control and loss of control, please get in touch with me, write me a message, write it below in the comments, go to my bio, schedule a free call on my website, waveconsult.ch, And I'm happy to get in touch with you and to explore the depths of your female side. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.